So guys, please, I drop a link below on how to draft and cut a Igbo blouse. I have to cut it short because the video is getting too long. Now we'll be cutting and sewing the blouse. So the materials I will be using, I'll be making use of this stay for the Igbo blouse. You can either use paper stay also, but I'll be using stay on this blouse. And I'll be using the softest wording for this. This is what I could buy in the market. I like the soft one. When you snatch your underbust very well, it will pack. So I'll be making use of this softest. This is the softest wording. I'll be using this for the blouse. And this George fabric. I'll be making use of this George fabric for this project. And a matching zip and bridal satin. This is the bridal satin I will be using for this blouse. So my satin on the table. We'll be cutting the lining first. When I mean the lining, the one that will put underneath the lace, we'll be cutting that one first before we cut the lining. So now let me place this. Okay guys, I'm done placing my pattern on the fabric. We'll be cutting the underlay first before we cut the lining. And I'll be making use of this satin fabric too for the lining. But this is the underlay. You can see I added 2 inches at the hem of the blouse. I added ½ inches for joining. And for the side of the front, I added 2 inches for width. I added ½ inches all round. Here I added 0.25 because I don't want to add more on the neckline, so the neckline can come out. So now I'll be cutting this. After cutting the front, we'll cut the back also. So guys, I've placed our back pattern also. I added 0.75 for the zipper. You can see 0.75 I added for the zipper and ½ inches for joining, about 2.25 for the seam allowance, and I added 2 inches at the hem line. So now I'll be cutting this also. So guys, I'm done with the cutting of the underlay. Now let's cut the George fabric. Okay guys, this is my George fabric. You can see this is the place where the appliques is. I'm not cutting from this place. I will come to this other side and cut. But when you want to cut, make sure you check the place that is stretchy before. You can see this place is stretchy, but it's not that stretchy. Then see the way this side is stretchy. So you make sure you check the green line first. The placement of the design here. Let me just say the placement of the design. This place is not that stretchy. This is very stretchy. So now I'll fold this way. Okay, I'm done with the placement. Now I'll be cutting it out. Okay, I'm done with the placing of the back. Now I'll be cutting this out also. So this is the ST. I'll be cutting it the same length with the underlay. I'll be putting the ST on the underlay. So now let me cut this. So now guys, I'll be cutting the lining of the blouse. I fold down the underlay on ½ inches. So this is how I will cut the lining. So now we're cutting for the front and the back also. So guys, to pad your blouse, you just do it like this. Do a straight line and it will end on the under bust line. just mark it like this. You can see the way I mark it. And you come down from the up of your neck by 1 inches. This is where the pad will stop. There are tools of padding a blouse. The first tool is that your pad must not get to the neckline and it must not get to the joining. Let's assume now this as an half cut. We will not allow the pad to get to the half length. We will stop it like half inches before the half length. So now we'll come down to on the side front by 1 inches also, and mark it like this. You can see the way I'm marking it. To stop on the under bust, it must not pass the under bust. Then we'll bring this like this and just give it a shape, a V neck like this. Then stop this here and here also. So I'll just use a straight line to join it together like this. So we have two methods in padding a blouse. We have the full bad. We have two methods in padding a blouse. We have the full padding and the half padding, which is like corset. You just curve it like this. You can see the way I curve it down. This is half padding. Is not full. The full padding is everything will be like this, but the half padding will just curve it like this. You can see the way I curve it like corset. But when you want to do this kind of padding, you must have tightening your under bust. If not so, it will fall, like it will have cut in the middle of the blouse, and we don't want that. So now let's go to the, I'm done with this place. Let's go to the side front. So the side front, you know, the rules of padding is that our pad will not get to the seam allowance, it will not get to the joining. So I will just come by half inches. This is my half inches mark, and I will just give a mark here like this and bring this out. So this will be coming to this line like this and like this. It will not get to our armhole also. So you can see how it looks. So now I'll be cutting from here, this line, not this line, from this line like this. So now let me cut this and show you guys what it looks like. So guys, I'm done with the cutting of the pad. You can see how it looks. I stop on the under bust line. That's where you stop when you want to cut, when you want to pad a blouse. That's where you stop when you want to pad your blouse. And you can see it didn't get to the seam allowance. No, you can see how it is. This is my strap, my sleeve, the off-shoulder sleeve I will be working with. You see, like I said, you don't have to add seam allowance at the armhole area. No, you just add on the hop and on the hemline of the sleeve. See you guys on the sewing machine. So guys, I'm through with the gumming of the stay, and I've sewed the underlay and the George lace together. You can see how it looks. So now we'll be working on the back first. So we're joining from the hemline like this. I'll be sewing on half inches because it's half inches we add for the seam allowance. So I'll be sewing on half inches. So guys, I'm done with the joining of the back. Now we have to work on the front. I sew down my wording on half inches. Now we'll be joining the front from the hemline the way we join the back. So now I will join on 1/2 inches. Okay guys, I'm done with the sewing. You can see how the cup is, and when we turn it to the back, you can see I've not ironed this yet. When I'm through with the sewing, I will iron it open like this. But you can see how the cup is, and see how beautiful it looks. We are not done yet, and the cup is sitting pretty. So now let's sew the other one also. When you want to sew, it's always good to start from the hem line. So now we'll be sewing on 1/2 inches also. Okay guys, so to iron your cup, you just open it gently like this, and you'll be doing it easy like this. You can see the way I'm pressing it like this gently. You turn it to the other side also and open firmly. You can see the way I open it on the tailor's arm. Then you do it like this gently. Gently. Okay guys, I'm done with the pressing of the blouse, and I've joined my zipper on 0.5 inches, so it will be easier for me to join the sides. And you can see how it looks, the blouse. Now I will turn it to this other side so we can see the front and the back together. Most times after joining the fronts together, the back will now be bigger than the front, but don't just bother. You just draw it a little and use your pin to hold it down, because we had enough allowance for this. So I'll use my pin to hold it down like this. Okay guys, after pinning down, we now have to get the waistline of the blouse. The waistline we use is 18, so we'll just mark it like this, and I'll be dividing the bust by 4. The bust is 44. 44 divided by 4 gives me 22. So we'll just put down the bust measurement. Make sure when you are joining yours together, you draw the front and the back together so it will be equal. The allowance that is remaining on the side of the back will be the same thing on the both sides. So now I'll put down my bust measurement and my waist measurement here also. Now let me do that. Okay guys, I'm done with the joining of the side, and I've pressed my seam open. You can see how it looks. Now we have to join the hem of the blouse. You make sure the joining of the lining and the blouse is together like this, and you pin down. We do the same thing at the joining also, and pin down. So now I'll go and sew on 1/2 inches. So after sewing the hemline, please always remember to launch it like this so it can lay flat. You know, the blouse, the hem of the blouse is not straight, it's curvy, so you launch like this. Now we have to turn our neckline with the lining. So first thing first, we'll be pinning down the neckline. It's always good to work with your pins. So now we'll be sewing on 1/2 inches, but we'll leave 1/2 inches for the sleeve. When we want to sew, we'll start from here. We'll not start from this edge here. No, we'll start from this place, 1/2 inches, because we are going to join our sleeve to this. And I will be making use of hemming gum for the neckline so it can lay flat. The lining will not be showing. This is my hemming gum. I'll fold it into two like this and fold again into four. So this is how it's going to be. Before half inches, I'll sew like this. Please don't forget the neckline is a sweetheart neckline, so we'll just be taking it gradually. So guys, I'm done with the sewing. So now I'll be launching the neckline so it can lay flat. So to sew the back neckline, you sew half inches away from the armhole, and when you will not sew to the zipper, like we left 0.75 for the zipper, we'll not sew to the zipper, we'll just sew for half inches away from the armhole, and we'll not sew it to get to the zipper also. Please don't forget you also launch the back neckline also. Okay guys, I'm done with the pressing of the neck of the blouse. Now we have to fix our zip. So to fix the zip of the blouse, first thing you have to make a lodge at the hem of the sleeve like this. So this is where the zip will be starting from. You do the same thing also at the other side like this. So this is the zip I will be using to be starting from the hem of the blouse. So the remaining one will be cutting it out. This is the Igbo blouse, and the down of the zip must be at the hem of the blouse, so it will be easy to open and close. So now this is how I will be fixing this. I'll first fix on the fabric first before I will now turn it to the lining. So now let me do this. Okay, I'm done with the fixing of the zip. You can see how it looks. Now we have to fix for the other side also. So we'll be fixing like this. So we'll be fixing also. You can see I made a lunge at the hem of the blouse so we can know where our zip will start from. So now we're fixing it like this. So guys, I'm done with the fixing of the zip. You can see how it looks. So this is how to fix your zip on a Igbo blouse. So now you can see it's equal at the up of the blouse. Now we have to turn this with the lining. First thing, we didn't sew the neckline finish to the zipper. Now we have to finish it up. We're sewing on half inch before we now sew straight down like this. So now let me sew this first. Sewing of the lining, you can see how it looks. Now we have to cut the excess of the zip out. Cut it like this, and we cut this also like this. Okay, you can see how it looks. Now let's sew the other side also. Now to sew the other side, you just come in from the armhole like this and you turn. You can see the way I came in from the armhole. So now I'll be sewing two on this line straight down. Okay, so mates, I'm done with the fixing of the zip. You can see how neat it looks. So now we have to work on our sleeve. So to fix the sleeve, this is a strap of sleeve I'm using, and like I said, you don't have to add seam allowance to your sleeve. So to fix your sleeve, you just put it this way. When you want it off the shoulder, you make it like this, off the shoulder. you put it this way to be on the neckline of your blouse. But when you want it to sit on your shoulder, you bring it, you make it slant like this, to be slant like this, and you will sew on 1/2 inches. So now we're sewing this. I want it to be off the shoulder. That's why I bring it this way. You can see the way. When you want it off, you bring it down like this. When you want it on your shoulder, you make it slant like this. So I'll be sewing this on my fabric, and I will use the lining to turn it in because we need a neat finishing. Okay, I'm done with the fixing of the sleeve. You can see how it looks. Now I'll be coming in from the armhole because we need a neat finishing. So, and I will turn like this. You can see the way I turn in. And we'll make the armhole of the lining and the armhole of the blouse together like this, and we'll be sewing on 1/2 inches. It will be nice when you want to sew it, you sew from this place where your joining is so you can see what you are sewing. Okay guys, I'm done with the sewing of the sleeve. I sew from one armhole to the neckline and from the other armhole also to the neckline. Now we have to turn this, but before we turn it, let's launch the armhole so it can lay flat. So cut out that edge, cut out this one also, and give it a bit of launch so it will lay flat. We'll turn it out like this. So this is how to fix your sleeve. So now we'll go and iron this down so it can lay flat like this. You can either use your Emmy gum to press it, but I will just use my iron to press this down. So now let's fix the other sleeve also. Okay guys, I'm done with the fixing of the sleeve. I fix it on the fabric alone. I've not torn it with the lining the way we turn the other side, and I made a little open here by 3 inches. So this is where we use and pass it. You know, we need a neat finishing for the blouse. The joining is inside. Maybe when you give it to your client and you need a little adjustment, you can come in from this opening that we made here. So now to sew the lining together with the sleeve, you just come in from here and tuck it in like this. You tuck it in from the armhole. So you bring the two like this and bring it out. You can see the way I bring it out. Now this is the armhole. You have to open your seams also. Bring the armhole to armhole together and pin it down. But before we pin it down, let's do it again together. You can see how it looks. I'll be coming in from this hole and I will pick the armhole to armhole, the lining and the blouse together like this, and draw it out. And you open the seam. Make sure the seam is open so your blouse can lay flat. And you pin the armhole to armhole together first. So after pinning it down like this, you now draw it out like this. So now we'll be sewing from the neckline like this, from this place, the head of the armhole, to this joining of the armhole together like this. Okay, I'm done with the sewing of this end. Now we have to sew the other end. You can see I'm done with this. We'll now drag this one out also. You do one after the other. So now I'll be sewing from this end to the armhole that I pinned down. Okay guys, I'm done with the sewing of the armhole. You can see how it looks. I sew from this end to the armhole, and I come back again and sew from here to the armhole also. Now we have to bring it out. You just bring it out easily like this. You can see how fast it is. And so now this is neat finishing. You can see how it looks. No visible sewing is showing outside. Everything is inside. So now we have to close this up. We'll be using our hand needle to tack this. Just bring it like this. So you just be tacking it like this, because we need the sewing should be invisible. But when you want to adjust, you just come through this place. You can either use Emmy gum to seal this place, but you know Emmy gum most times it will remove. So I prefer doing this than to use Emmy gum for it. So now I'm done with the hemming of the blouse. You can see how neat it is. Now let me place this on my dress form so we can start the embellishment of the blouse. Okay, this is my blouse without embellishment. Okay, so now this is me pinning the trimmings on the blouse. So you just pin down like this. You know, you just have to be careful doing this. Take your time. You don't have to watch it. You don't need to rush. Just take your time and take it gently. Anywhere that needs to cut, you cut it out. Just cut it out like this. And you fold it when you want to tack it. You can't just leave it like that. You just give it a bit of fold, and fold here also when we are tacking. Yeah. Fold it like this. And you fold this. You can see the way it is. And pin it down. Alright guys, I'm done with the embellishment of the blouse. You can see how it looks. Now we have to work on the sleeve. I don't want to leave my sleeve like this. So now let's work on it. Okay guys, I'm done with the cutting of the sleeve. The length of my sleeve is 15 and the width is by 6. And I cut 2 pieces for this. One will be for the lining and one will be for the sleeve. To join the sleeve, I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be sewing on 1/2 inches round, but I'll leave like 2 inches for turning. So now let me go and sew this and show you guys what it looks like. Okay guys, I'm done with the sewing of the sleeve. You can see how it looks. Now I'll turn this out and give it a good press. So I've given it a good press. You can see how this looks. So now we need to use our hand needle for this. The width of the sleeve I'm working with is 5.5, and when you divide 5.5 by 2, this is 5.5 by 2. Now we get 2.75, and I've created a mark like this. So it's on this middle I'll be drawing my gathers with my hand needle. Now I'll just do this like this. Come here. I'll just be tucking it like this. So guys, I'm done with the sleeve. You can see how it looks. What we just need now is, if you have that fringe, then you put it to cover the gathers we did here. I'll be putting this on my blouse and display it for you guys to see. Okay guys, I'm done with the fixing of the sleeve. You can see how beautiful it looks. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys. See you on my next video. God bless you.